All right, Sean Zattel here with the best blow-by-blow man that ever did it, my man Jim Lampley, who is co-hosting the exclusive live viewer chat throughout Saturday for Canelo Munguia on ppv.com. Always great to have you, Jim. First of all, what did you think of Oscar and Canelo's back and forth up there?
I wish, for the benefit and long-term peace of mind of my good friend, dear friend, Oscar De La Hoya, that he would simply let it drop and go forward without feeling the need to vent and display his unhappiness in a circumstance like this. I don't think that he helps himself, and I think Oscar knows me well enough and knows our friendship well enough to know that I want him to help himself. I want him to be majestic and make himself look good. And I don't think that he helped himself in a public way today by venting about Canelo in the way that he did.
That was a conversation maybe best left between the two of them and not for public consumption.
I would certainly agree with that assessment. I don't want to get in the way of Oscar being Oscar and doing what Oscar wants to do. I've known him and loved him since 1992. I think of it as a treasured friendship. But when he gets off that dais, off that podium, I want to feel proud of him. I want to feel proud that I know him. And I think he showed you that he can, in some instances, be too thin-skinned for his own good.
Are you also kind of saying, Jim, that it's not that he doesn't have a point of contention or two, it's just don't.
He has a point.
Right.
This isn't the time or the place.
Right.
He's involved in the promotion here. Leave it alone, and let a majestic fight go forward. These two fighters, who have the spotlight, have a combined record of 109 wins, 2 losses, and 2 draws. You don't see this. With the time that most contenders are made to wait these days to get a shot at somebody, particularly like Canelo, you don't see it. You don't see the 43-0 record and the luster that Jaime now brings into the ring. So let that fight rise on its own merits and be the central attraction. And don't choose this particular occasion. Again, I love you, Oscar, but I don't think that helped you today.
Let me just, to close on this whole Oscar-Canelo thing, you covered Oscar in his prime. You've seen Canelo in his prime up close as well. Who's the greater fighter as of today? Canelo's road is not finished, but...
Well, that's an interesting thing.
Yeah.
Who's the greater fighter?
Yeah.
In Mexico, Canelo Alvarez. His impact on the society is massive. And, I believe that his ongoing goal still at play for him is to try to put his record so far up the ladder that he can be seen as above and beyond Salvador Sanchez, above and beyond Julio Cesar Chavez, above and beyond them all as the greatest Mexican fighter of all time. That's a very lofty goal, and I believe that is in Canelo's mind. Whether he reaches that plateau or not, that's up to Mexican fans and Mexican media. They're better at judging that than I am. But in terms of Mexico and Mexican culture, he's the bigger fighter, the better fighter. In terms of impact in the world's largest media market, the United States, it's Oscar De La Hoya. There are very few public figures of any background, fighters, basketball players, politicians, very few people who in their lifetimes have matched the public impact, unifying an audience behind him and unifying it according to national identity, cultural identity, what's happening in the world around them, the way Oscar did. There are a lot of things Oscar did that he wasn't even aware he was doing at the time, but he was huge to the growing self-identity of Latino culture in the United States. And not just Mexicans. Puerto Ricans grew to admire and appreciate Oscar De La Hoya. All Spanish-speaking people recognize that he did something for them. So be majestic. Be the superstar that you are. Don't reach down into a bucket to pull out grievances that don't assist you in this moment.
Good life advice, not just for Oscar, for all of us. Good life advice for all of us, not just Oscar. But
Hey, I've made mistakes too. I'll be the first to say I've made mistakes. Dear Oscar, I love you. I've made mistakes. And on that basis, on that experience, I'm saying to you, you don't need that. Everybody knows who you are. You don't need that. It doesn't matter what the other person on the dais may have said or done. He can't take you down.
what